wonderful collectors and Transformer fans, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to the incredible support of my patrons and channel members, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Earthrise Voyager class Trailbreaker. And yeah, he's actually Trailbreaker again. Not Trail Cutter or Trail whatever, he's Trailbreaker, which is what he should be. For the package, much like all of the Earthrise ones, you got that greenish aqua sort of thing going on. Transformers, Earthrise, all that stuff. The name, the open window. You got an absolute gorgeous image of him right here on the side. Other side here obviously has that image of the Ark crashing down to Earth. You have Galvatron floating around. You got Unicron right there. Quintessons, the Ark, all that fun stuff. The back of the package shows him in both his robot as well as his vehicle mode. And of course that he transforms in 18 steps. Now, when we saw the hoist figure some time ago, and I did take a look at that, obviously, we knew that we were going to be getting a Trailbreaker because he is basically a repaint with some slight remolded parts. And I was absolutely thrilled about that. I love the fact that the Siege, the Earthrise line, even Kingdom is giving us like a whole new classics generation, and I couldn't be more excited. So all that being said, without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Trailbreaker open up out of his packaging and obviously in his vehicle mode. And you know, I need to stop getting impressed with what Hasbro's doing, because one of these days they're going to come out with something that's total crap and I'm going to be like, yeah, they've been doing such a good job lately, all the toys are awesome, and now this one sucks. I'm just setting myself up to be disappointed at some point in time, and I don't want that to happen. These new figures are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, like I said, we knew that we were going to be getting Trailbreaker when we got up the hoist. There was no doubt about it. But what they were able to do to really differentiate this guy is outstanding. So let's do some those comparisons, I guess. So here we go. And I mean, let me come down. You get a good look here. It really is quite impressive. I mean, I have their weapons attached and everything. So let me get these out of the way. So really you can see the differences here. Obviously, the front bits here, I mean, all of this is essentially the same, but the bed area does get different. You do have the little camper top thing here with Trailbreaker. You do have the I don't even know what you would call those, the little wing thingies, and then the back piece right here. So the back section obviously is where the majority of the differences are, but they look great. Really, they do. I'm absolutely impressed. And it doesn't bug me really all that much because obviously the original characters shared the same kind of thing. By that I mean obviously the design. Just so wicked awesome. I like how they changed the window from this bluish color to more of a black to kind of fit in with the rest of the paint scheme. You got the iconic little color bits here, whereas obviously he's got the warning. You still have the Autobot logo. Now because he was part of the Siege line, he does have that extra slight paint damage to him with the silver bits added to it. Trailbreaker does not have that. It's a clean look, which does look good. The Autobot logos are very beautiful. I love the size of them. They're vibrant. They pop out. Trailbreakers actually looks a little bit bigger. Am I crazy? Do those look different sizes to you? Tell me. Leave me a comment down in the description. Come around to the bottom. Obviously, that's all basically the same. The engineering and everything is the same. So obviously, you know, the transformation is not going to be overly different. And then the other Trailbreaker that I've had in my display for my classics was the Combiner Wars one. It's a good one, but not nearly as good as this. Obviously, this could have been a lot better if it had the whole back section and everything, but it's a more updated look. I mean, that's sleek. This is kind of how a more modern looking one would look. This is definitely an 80s look for that truck. Super cool though, either way. Now, as you can see, he does come with his weapon. It is a different one than what Hoist comes with. This is his little nozzle weapon. This is Trailbreaker's. Looks really very good. You can plug it right here on the top. You can use that if you want. If you have that Centurion set, or Centurion, whatever you want to call it, you can plug the little radar dish in there, which would be cool. Overall, though, really Very, very nice. I like the little 4-wheel drive kind of logo right there. Just super fun. He rolls, all that fun stuff. Really very, very cool. Transformation is basically the same. So I'm not going to focus too much on it. Obviously, the back section here is where the majority of the differences kind of lie. So we'll take a look at that here in a bit. But let's just get all this going. We're going to pull these arms out. Pull these out. Extend the legs on both sides. We're going to bring this around. And let's see, let's push his head through. And rotate that around. That's going to clip into place. Get that, and then that kind of going to lock into place right there. There we go. Bring this down. Bring these arms down and everything. And now, this is where things are just a little bit different. You want to open this piece up. And you got his little over-the-shoulder weapons. They're a little bit tricky to get out. So, come on. There we go. Rotate that up. Rotate that up. Now, this has, and then you bring this up. You got a little locking tab right in here. You just bring this into his back. Lock that in right there. And just rotate these arms down. Straighten all this out. Just like that. And there you have them. And again, absolute amazing looking figure. Really, really is. Fiddling with them around a little bit. This guy, honestly, nails the look as he should. It really is a very cool representation. Now, you can complete the look by taking this, obviously, and having him hold this. Sometimes in the cartoon, he had that. Sometimes he didn't. It just depends on which scene you're looking at. But there you go. Same thing here with these little back bits. And the one thing that's cool is you can just always take those and you can tuck them back around and you can hide it. And he does come with this as another weapon. This piece right here can detach. So if you wanted to clean up his back a little bit more, you can do that. And then you can use this like as a shield on his arm. Just plug that there. And he's got a shield if you wanted to. But it honestly, like this back section here doesn't really look all that bad. And I got to try and see. You got these little groove areas. You just put that right back in there. So I like that. There's parts forming, but it's not necessary with him. Let's come on, let's lock you right in there. You know, and that doesn't look bad if you ask me. But there you have him in his robot mode. And like I said, just an absolute wonderful representation of the character. It really, really is. Utilizing the same design elements as that hoist figure made sense. Obviously, since originally they shared the same kind of look and everything, same design, same vehicle, all that, it made sense to do. And it results in a really good looking robot mode as well. Now again, with the comparisons, let's bring in his buddy, and you can see, obviously, there are similarities, but enough differences that do what it needs to do and look like two different characters. The head sculpt is completely different. The back section is different. Everything else is basically the same. Well, no, I lied to you. Looking at like his crotch section here, that's been remolded. That's kind of cool to see. The rest is all the same, but that was kind of a surprise. I didn't expect to see that. At least the front section of it. Looking at the back, that is the same piece, but the front of him is smoother, whereas you can see a lot more kind of texture right there. That's kind of cool. Forearms are the same. Obviously, the chest, the abdomen area, that's all the same. So, a couple of other remolded parts. The head sculpt, though, I think is putting him off the back. absolutely gorgeous. Really nails that look that he had. So coming in and here, let's kind of zoom up a little bit so you can see that. That's a great looking head sculpt. I love that. That is what he should look like. And honestly, that was one of the best parts of the Combiner Wars figure. I did really like the head sculpt with them, or with that figure. I mean, both of them look really good, really kind of nail that look. But here you can see kind of like the size difference here. Well, obviously this is a Voyager figure and he was a deluxe, so it makes sense. You did have the cannon that was built into his arm, kind of on the wrong arm. It depended, like I said. Sometimes it was all over the place. But this was a good figure, but a lot more sleek and definitely more modern looking. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you like that, nothing wrong with it at all. I just prefer that classic G1 style look. These are the characters that I grew up with. So I like getting them looking like that still. But obviously the colors are pretty much the same that you saw in his vehicle mode. The black, red, you got some extra silver kind of showing here, which looks nice. I really do love the fact that they built in these little bits, so those are always going to be there. Like I said, if you wanted to, you can always rotate them, tuck them away. Now he doesn't have them. So it's a personal preference thing, but he has to have his force field generator and such. So, I mean, that just is great. I love the fact that they have this. I do kind of wish, and I talked about this before, I wish that wasn't as long. It doesn't need to be that long unless, I mean, you can always tab it on, you got these little ports on the side of his arm, but I feel like I'm never, ever going to use that. So you can put it there, but why would you? I guess. So, I don't know. And then if you don't have it all the way down, it sticks up like that. So you got to push it all the way down. But then you got that, which that looks weird to me. But I mean, from the front, you don't ever see it. His articulation is the exact same. The head will rotate, look up and down a little bit. It kind of feels like it's on like a ratchet or something. Something's happening there. But you do get a nice range of motion. The shoulders do rotate. The back section here is attached, which does annoy me a little bit, but again, kind of how the original G1 toy sort of looked. So they kind of mesh some of those original G1 designs in terms of toys and cartoon there. And then when you just leave it like that, I mean, you kind of don't really notice it. So it is what it is. You can rotate. You got a nice elbow joint. The wrists do rotate, and that kind of allows you to kind of get things misaligned here because you can kind of see that it's a little bit crooked. But you can rotate that around. You do have a waist. You have hips. What's going on? There we go. Hips, forward and back, in and out, rotates at the thigh, and bends at 2 points at the knee. Does feel a little bit looser in some respects, mostly like in the knee area. I could probably fix that, but that's pinned, so I don't know if I can really thicken that too much. I mean, I'd probably use the little floor polish trick to tighten that up a bit. I love the ankle tilt that he has. I love the fact that they put that little piece right there so that you can kind of mitigate some of the gapping that happens. I think that's a really nice attention to detail. Just overall, super happy about this guy. Super, super happy. I said this earlier. I love the fact that we're getting like a whole new classics sort of thing. Classics, for those of you that don't know, we're basically like the definitive, best articulated, best kind of representations of our G1 characters that we've had for many, many years. Highly, highly coveted as some of the best Transformer toys that we've ever gotten. And these new Siege and Earthrise figures, in my opinion, are replacing that. And I love it. The design team over at Hasbro has been doing an amazing job. Definitely curious to see how it's going to go now that John Warden, the head guy over there, is leaving to go work with Power Rangers, I think it is. That's a demotion in my opinion, but whatever. These guys are fantastic. Now, Trailbreaker is starting to hit some retail locations right now, so if you're looking for them, good luck and happy hunting. But I picked mine up on Amazon. But you can also go through Big Bad Toy Store. All of those online places are going to have them. So for all of that, I'm going to put links right down in the video description where you can check those places out and add this guy to your collection as soon as possible. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Remember, if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you would do one very simple thing for me. And that's just to hit that thumbs up button. Doesn't take long to do at all. In the time that I've been talking about it, you could have already hit that button and shut me up. Also, I gotta send a huge shout out to all my patrons and channel members. If you'd like information on how you can help support my channel by becoming a patron, feel free to check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/Optibotimus. Or if you want to keep it really simple and keep it all right here on YouTube, all you have to do is click on that little join button right down there. And finally, remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.